Hello everyone and welcome to the first Tuesday night Facebook Live for 2026. So my plan is for this year to get back to a little bit more normal. Of course, with the house flooding last July, we are now back home, which is really lovely. But the sorting out is taking a fair bit of time, but that is okay. I will get there with that. So let me. Okay, I'm just getting everything set up here. So if you're watching, I hope you'll say hello. Okay, so I have got here the new mini catalogue, which actually launches today, so I can show you the inside. I'm going to make a card using the Cute as a Bug Designer Series papers, which these can be found on page 42 and 43 of the new catalogue. So I haven't got all of the suite. I have got the designer series papers because I really love using those. And I've got these really cute embellishments. Let me just see where I put them. I did have them here, but I'm not sure where I put them. They are really cute. These ladybugs are absolutely adorable. But the papers are really amazing. If you don't necessarily think that you will use the dies and the stamp set, the papers are very versatile. So let me show you. Oh, and these papers are 2175 12 by 12 size, 2 sheets of each of the 6 different designs. Okay, so let's go through these papers. So they are very, very cute. As I mentioned, I've only got the embellishments and also the papers. So I'm sure that some of the dies will coordinate with this paper. But if you enjoy fussy cutting, you'll enjoy cutting out some of these images. There is also a sheet that includes elements that you can cut and use on your card front. So some of these larger ones will be the perfect size for a card front. And they're just, as I mentioned, they are just really, really cute. So I've got some blackberries and strawberries happening. There are some toadstools and mushrooms. And this piece of paper is all I've got left. So it does have, of course, some extra images, which I'm not sure if I've got any close by. I'm thinking, let me just take a look, which is that one there, which is really cute. Okay, so let me share with you a template of the card I'm going to make. So I actually haven't made this card yet. Just going to pop the designer series paper aside. So this is the template I'm using to make this card. So with my template, I have used various greys, white, and of course we've got a bit of black. And on the back, I have got my measurements written down for each of the pieces. So I'm going to make a card that I haven't put together yet. I have thought about it though, using this particular template. So the colours I'm using are colours that I've actually taken from the designer series paper, and I've done a little bit of fussy cutting ahead of time just for a couple of the images. We've got some blackberries, and also we've got the ants carrying a blackberry as well. So I'm going to include those on my card front, or maybe only one of them on the card front, the other on the inside. So the colours I have chosen for this card, I'm using 3 different colours. I've got some Blackberry Bliss, which is not a colour I use a lot of, so it's actually really, really nice to be using this particular colour. This is Cloud Cover, which is one of the new in colours, and I've also got some white. Hi Jenny, thank you for joining me. Yeah, it's great to be back for 2026. Hi Mandy, hi Pam, Happy New Year to you too. Yeah, it seems like a really long time since I've been on sharing anything. So it's really lovely to be back. So this is my colour scheme, which is taken from the papers. Now, one thing I'd like to share with you with the paper, just in case you didn't already know this, you get a plain white backing sheet, and on that backing sheet it has all the details. So it has the name of the cardstock, it has the item number down the bottom, plus it includes all of the colours that are featured in the packet of designer series paper. So it takes a guesswork out of figuring out what colours you're using. So these 3 colours are from the paper. Okay, so I haven't decided what colour I'm going to be doing my base yet. However, I can make a start with this. So I'm going to get my paper trimmer, and I don't often do Facebook Lives normally like this. Normally everything is fairly well prepared. Okay, so for this is going to be where this light grey is the piece I'm cutting. So this one is going to be 9.5 centimetres by 13.9. So these measurements should sound familiar, okay, because they are measurements that are fairly standard. The next piece I'm going to cut is my piece of white just in here, and this is 10 centimetres by 14.4. So I'm actually going to do the 14.4 because I'm going to need a piece of this possibly for the inside as well. So I've got 14.4 by 10 centimetres, and I'm going to cut a second one of those as well. So I think with Facebook Lives, you don't often see me cutting, and I've just realised when I looked at my computer that I was actually a little bit off where you could see. Okay, so just gonna pop that white one. So as you can see, I've got these 2 pieces coming together. I haven't decided what colour base I'm going to use yet, whether I'm going to go with just a white base or whether I'm going to go with one of the other colours, but I'll have a look at that once I get the rest of the card together. The next 2 pieces I need to cut are these 2 strips here. So if I flip it over, we've got the white is 3.5 by 12 centimetres. I've actually got an offcut here. So this should be around about a little bit more than 12. We'll go with that. And this is by 3 centimetres. So that is my strip that's going to go across the card front at a slight angle. And the second piece, I'm going to be cutting that out of the Blackberry Bliss. That is 3.5 centimetres by 12. And rather than cutting into a whole sheet, I did grab an offcut out of the drawer. So this is the Blackberry Bliss. So I've got 12 centimetres by 3.5. So this card design is quite a simple one. This is just the base, and then you can add extra elements to it. Now, as I mentioned, I haven't cut the card base yet. I just want to have a look at this card and then make a decision what colour I use. Okay, so that is my cutting done for now. Let me just hang my paper trimmer back up. So these strips will be trimmed and they'll be stuck on first and then trimmed, and they're going to go across my card like that. And then I've got my image that I fussy cut earlier, which is going to go just off to the side. So it's going to be a nice simple card. Where I've got the cloud cover, you could replace that with some designer series paper if you wanted to. I'm leaving it fairly plain for tonight. So I'm not sure which of the designer series papers I would use. So I'll stick with what we're doing. The other thing is you could add some texture to that by doing some embossing as well. Okay, I'm going to use this sentiment stamp set, which is called Banner Sayings. One of the things I like about this, because my image I've cut out is a little bigger, I'm going to use a slightly smaller sentiment. So I might do this one as perhaps a thank you, because I tend to use those quite a bit. And with the new packaging, which you would have seen the clear envelope it comes in, you get your piece of paper with your printing on it. Plus you get your stamp set, photopolymer, the same as the other ones, come between the two sheets of the acetate. I will share with you what you can do to then have the images on the inside, just so that you know at a glance whether you have misplaced one of your stamps. Okay, so let's do this one. I think I might do it actually, wishing you good things. Yeah, we'll do that one. So wishing you good things. Banner Sayings also has a punch that coordinates with it. Let me show you the punch very quickly, just here on the table. So this is the punch. So it does have your 3 different shape banners. All of these will fit into all of these. So there's lots of option that you have with the punch. Okay, so I have also got out my Blackberry Bliss ink, which is quite a dark colour, a very rich sort of deep purple. So I'm going to pop that to the side, which is going to sit around about there. My stamp is going to get more stained using such a dark colour. So I'm just going to get a piece of scrap paper. And as always, I like to just double check to make sure everything's going to stamp nicely. Okay, so inking my stamp. Wishing you good things. That's it. That's all this card is going to take. As I mentioned, I will need to take a look at the base and decide whether to do white base or whether I choose one of the other colours. Okay, so now it's time to stick this together. You could do some background stamping, as I mentioned. You might like to do some embossing or something like that as well. So the background of this card is quite versatile. Okay, so I'm going to stick these pieces on first. And I've got my stamp and seal. I don't need to go all the way to the edge, just part of the way. So a little bit of an angle. You can go as severe with the angle as you like. Okay, and I am going to trim up these edges here. Now the reason I have given the measurement of the 12 centimeters for these strips is simply so that if you decide to go on a more severe angle, you've got enough cardstock to do that with those sizings. And then this piece with the sentiments going on as well. And it's a simple trim up. And of course, if you like, you can use your paper trimmer to trim these edges up. Okay. So next I'm going to be putting this onto my piece of white. And just before I stick that down, that is going to go onto there. I am going to get a white base, and I think I might cut a couple more bases as well. So the white is the standard half sheet of A4 that I would normally use. And with the thick white cardstock, I do pre-score that as well. Okay, so all we have with that is a double layer of white, or I need to get my paper trimmer. We could go the dark with the Blackberry Bliss. So I'll show you how I cut. I score once and cut once to get 2 bases. So I've got my cardstock going in long ways. So at 10.5, I'm going to do a score line. So that's 10.5 long ways. And then just do a quarter turn so that you've got the shorter length down this side. And then that is going to be 14.9. So 1 score, 1 cut, you get your 2 bases. It's nice and easy. Okay, and I'm also going to cut a base out of the cloud cover as well, just so that I can fold each of them and then decide which one we like the most. Okay, so I think that a lot of us do that. You play around with the colour of the base and sit the card together on top just to see how it's going to look. All right, so we've got, as I mentioned, Blackberry Bliss. And I've also got a base of cloud cover too. With the pieces I don't use, I actually store them in a container, and I've also got little drawers that I store any of the mats that I've pre-cut, because I tend to cut the mats in bulk. So rather than just cutting up 1 piece or 2, I'll cut 3 or 4 pieces at once. I do have a guillotine that I can cut multiple thicknesses with at once. Okay, so let's take a look at this. So this is the Blackberry Bliss. I don't mind that. And we've got the cloud cover, which I don't mind that either. So I think I'm going to rule out white. So what did you think between the bases, between the Blackberry Bliss or the cloud cover? Which one did you like better? And I'll go with that. So that is, again, that is the Blackberry Bliss, which I don't mind that. I think the gives a little bit of depth to the colour. And that is the cloud cover. So let's see. So Tracy, we've got Blackberry Bliss, Blackberry Bliss. Let's do that. Easy done. Okay, so that is going to be how a card is finished up. So let me finish sticking this together. I'm going to be using, of course, some dimensionals as well. So, and also my reminder always, when you're using Stamp and Seal, a light hand, and don't forget that little tick to break the stream of the adhesive. Okay, so we've got those 2 layers stuck together, and I'm going to get some dimensionals and take your pick tool. Okay, and as I usually use, I've got the minis here. Okay, one more. All right, and of course, always stab into the back of your dimensionals to quick and easily flick those little dimensional covers off. Oh, need one more. Okay, last one. Okay, so onto the card front, and I'm also going to use some dimensionals just behind this image here. I might turn it a little bit more onto the side, just so I don't have the leaves hanging off the side of the card, because when I go to put it in an envelope, of course, that is going to get a little bit damaged if it's hanging off the side. Okay, so we'll get some dimensionals behind this one. And of course we need to finish off the inside as well. I've probably put too many dimensionals on, but that's okay. One will fit there. There we go. Okay, and of course, flicking the backs off. Now, just while I'm doing this, I do have some launch events coming up on the 16th and 17th. So it's Friday the 16th, which is Friday next week at 7:30. And I also have Saturday the 17th at 1:30 for some launch events for the new catalogue. So you'll be able to get your hands on some new product and see how you go and see if you like that. Registration for those events is open until Monday the 12th. So you do have until Monday to register for one of those. Cost $20. You get your catalogues. There will be gifts, giveaways, and you'll get to choose 2 cards from the card buffet. If you'd like to make more than 2 cards, it will be $7 per card after that. Okay, so that is that one there. And I'm going to grab, let me see if I've got some baker's twine or something I might be able to use. I didn't think this little bit through all that well. Here we go. I'm going to put some of these white dots on it. So these are called natural matte dots because this card just needs a little bit more. I was hoping to have some other embellishments here at the table because I have been doing a little bit of work. So these ones you have white, vanilla, black. That might be crumb cake or it could be pecan pie. I'm not sure which one. So I'm going to pop some of these ones on just to give the front a little bit more something to look at. So 1, 2, and of course I am using the putty end. Let's do a couple of extra. There we go. I like that better. Just needed something a little more because the background is quite plain. Okay, to finish the inside, I have got my second piece of white, and this one measures 10 centimeters by 14.4, which is one of the ones I cut just a little while ago. That's going to go inside my card base, and then I do have another image to stick in as well. Okay, there is that, and these cute little guys are going to go down the bottom. So yeah, so I do have, as I mentioned, launch events coming up. So that's the 16th and 17th. This new catalogue, mini catalogue, launched today along with bonus days. So bonus days is where you can spend this month and you can earn coupons to spend or redeem next month. So yeah, so if you purchase $90 worth of product between now and I think it's the 2nd of February, you will get a $9 coupon, and there's no limit to how many you can earn. So if you place a larger order, you might end up getting 2 coupons to use next month. And yeah, then you get to redeem those. So that is happening starting today. So there's a few different things. So as I mentioned, we've got bonus days, the new catalogue, there's some new online exclusives that have launched. And I feel a little bit underprepared because I only decided late this afternoon or this morning to do the Facebook Live. So a little bit underprepared, but that's okay. So that is the finished card just there, and the inside. And as mentioned, these are really cute little images that you can cut out. So that is for tonight. As I mentioned, we've got the new mini catalogue has launched. If you'd like to stop by and pick up a copy of the catalogue, please let me know and I'll leave those out the front for you. If you're coming to one of the launch events, of course, you can collect your catalogue then. So yeah, so the new catalogue is launched. We have bonus days, product of the month. The new product of the month has launched as well, which is a sentiment stamp set. So to earn product of the month or qualify product of the month, that is with a $125 order. And then you can purchase the product of the month for an extra $9. So I think I have mentioned, sort of glossed over that a little bit, but I promised to share a lot more details about product of the month as we move forward. It's going to be something that's going to stay for a while now. So there is the card for tonight. So thank you for your input. I think I do like the Blackberry Bliss with the card base. So that is all I've got for you for tonight. So thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Thank you, Jenny, Leslie, Mandy, Pam. I think there was a few more people there. Oh, Gay and Tracy. I'm not sure. There was a couple of other names that scrolled past as well. So thank you so much, everyone, for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this. Yeah, it's a really simple, cute little card, and that is just using a card template to create your card. So thanks again, everyone, for watching. I look forward to seeing you all again next week. Until then, take care and stay cool for the next couple of days. Thanks again, everyone. Bye-bye.